Hi, let's work through the longest palindromic substring problem together. And firstly, let's go through the problem description. So for this problem, we would be given a string S, and we will have to return the longest palindromic substring in S. And a substring is a contiguous non-empty subsequence of characters within a string. And we will also know that S will only consist of digits and English letters. So for this problem, I would like to iterate every element in the string, and for every element, I would like to find out the longest palindromic substring that centers this element. But there might be two situations. One situation is that the longest palindromic substring is of odd length, and the second situation is that the longest palindromic substring is of even length. So for the first situation, we will find out the longest palindromic substring centers Si. And in the second case, longest palindromic substring will have two centers, and Si will be the left center of longest palindromic substring. And we will find out the longest palindromic substring of odd length and of even length in every iteration. And we would like to have two variables to record the maximum longest palindromic substring, and one variable is result variable, which records the longest palindromic substring, and another variable is count, which will record the length of the longest palindromic substring. And now let's begin developing our solution. So if LPS is of odd length, we would like to let L equal to I and R equal to I, and while L is larger than or equal to 0 and the right is less than or equal to length of S minus 1. In this case, we will check whether SL equal to S right. If it is the case, we will make L equal to L minus 1, and we will assign right plus 1 to right. And else we will break. So that's basically the case. And after this inner loop, we would add 1 to L and add 1 and minus 1 to S, because the actual palindromic substring will be from left to because in this case the longest palindromic substring will become from left to right plus 1. So at this time, length will be right minus L plus 1, and if length is larger than count, I will let res equal to res R plus 1. this is the case. And then we will deal with the second case. And for this case, L equal to I minus 1, right equal to L equal to I, right equal to I plus 1. And we will go through the inner loop again. That's the same as before. And finally, after the outer loop, we will return the result here. Let's run together. There is an error. Let me check. So I forgot to add range here. It is wrong. And let's go through the code together here. I wrote something wrong. It's still wrong, and let me check again. I found out what the problem is. I forgot to update count here. Let's run again. And it is accepted, and let's submit. Okay, so the solution is correct. And let's add some note here about the time complexity and space complexity. Time complexity will be O n square, because we have an outer loop here, and inside the outer loop we have an inner loop, and in the inner loop we might iterate through all of the elements in S. So because of these nested loops, our time complexity is O n squared, and our space complexity will actually be O n, because we use a result variable here, and the result variable in the worst case might store all of the elements inside S. And we also use count here, but count can be ignored in terms of space complexity. That's all. Thank you.